This is Fit Inside the Hoop, and today we're going to take your hooping to the next level. We are, as you remembered, already hooping. We can hoop from side to side. We can hoop with one foot in front of the other. We can switch it up and we can hoop with the other foot in front. And hopefully we've all been practicing on throwing that hoop in the opposite direction and playing around with that. Now, I wanted to quickly go over, don't get frustrated. Some people are like, oh, I can't keep the hoop up, I can't keep the hoop up. And I promise you, if you can put in just 5 minutes a day, going in each direction, before you know it, you're going to be able to hold that hoop up because you're building the muscle memory. This may be a brand new thing that you've never done before, so you want that time inside the hoop so that your muscle memory can build up. And before you know it, you'll be holding that hoop up for as long as you want to. Quick reminder too, if you're hooping and you start to lose your hoop, you're going to want to bend down and speed it up a bit to bring it back up. Okay, so now let's start moving. Okay, so you've got the basics down, you're standing in one spot. Now what I want you to do is I want you to just take some steps. Take some steps. Steps to the side. It's just walking. It's basic walking with the hoop. You're going to find you tighten up your core a little bit more. You're going to want to pay attention to that because that's going to help you maintain it. And again, if you start to take that first step and your hoop is dropping, just bend a bit and bring it back up. And again, I'm going to challenge you, throw it in the other direction and start walking with it that way. Okay? When I was first starting to hoop, what I challenged myself with was increasing my distance. And so the first day, I walked to the end of my driveway and back. And then I walked the entire way around my driveway. So I encourage you in the beginning to set those little goals for yourself. Start out with maybe you can only go around in one small circle before the hoop starts to fall. Okay, so do that one day. Next day I want you to go at least 25 steps farther. And play with that, and play with it in the other direction, and before you know it, you'll be doing laps. I also wanted to throw down another challenge, and that is to start turning in the hoop. So what that's going to look like is just, so you're following the motion of your hoop. So I'm standing here, I'm going to just take one movement, lift my leg and bring it over, and it's almost like I'm stalling the hoop on my core. And I'm turning, and what that just adds is a little bit of fun. Now you're not just standing here, now you're moving, and now you're spinning with the hoop. And you're spinning with the hoop. And to make it even extra challenging though, what I'm going to see is what happens if you go in the other direction. Now that takes a little bit more effort, and definitely is a few steps because you're going against the spin of the hoop, which is way more challenging. But again, it's getting that core workout, and let's remember to engage. Engage your quads, engage your glutes as you turn. Throw it in the other direction and turn. So now we're walking and now we're turning, and all of a sudden this is becoming a really fun workout because now I've got my music on, I can take some steps, I can turn, and I can have some fun with it. Now, what I want you to also think about is another way to really engage your whole body in this is we're going to talk about changing levels. Okay, so we can change directions, right? So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to change levels. And that's just what I mean. We're going to walk up. Okay, we're going to hoop up on our toes. Then we're going to take it down. How low can you go? And then we're going to hoop. Then we're going to take it up, 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 and down again. You're really engaging those legs. So we're going to try even walking in the squat position, walking in the tippy toe position. And if you really want to get crazy, see if you can't, bring it down and hoop on your knees and bring it back up. That's going to be a wicked workout. If you can drop down to your knees, bring it back up 10 times, you're getting a really great workout. Alright, so we've changed directions, we've changed levels, and now if you really want to spice up things, we're going to change speed. So if you notice at first, like say you have a slow song on, you're going slowly in this direction. and then speed it up. Maybe a better sound comes on. Speed it up, 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 and slow it down, and slow it down. So you're changing the speed, and really all that is about how much you're pushing into the hoop. So remember, in our side to side, we're pushing in with these muscles, and so I'm just going to be pushing in that speed faster. My legs are pushing, my whole body is pushing in. And then when I slow it down, it's just about easing off a little bit, and then we speed it up. And of course, everybody's favorite, we're going to throw it in the other direction, and we're going to try the same thing. And so then the challenge becomes 50 seconds on as fast as you can, and then let yourself recover for 10 to 20 seconds, and then pump it up again. Throw it in the other direction. And you're just really getting so comfortable with that core hooping, which is going to allow you to start adding tricks or take it to the next level. So as a quick wrap up, we talked about moving, making sure we're working and changing directions. So we talked about changing directions. We talked about changing levels, where you're going to want to be up, or you don't want to be down. You don't want to be up, you don't want to be down. And change the speed, faster, slower. And all of that, I can't say enough, should be done to your favorite, absolute favorite playlist, because then it's fun. It's fun because you're getting your groove on. So, I also am going to leave you with one more thing to think about. Something in beginning hooping that we call T-Rex arms, and that's when your arms are in here because you're so focused on keeping up with this, you don't think about your arms. So I want you to think about keeping arms out wide, sometimes especially when you're doing a spin, or keeping them in close or one out. Where are your arms? What are they doing? How can they participate in your hoop exercise? All right, that's it for this week. See you next week inside the hoop.